To the top 3 here at the CORSAIR DreamLeague Season 12. They already made at least $40,000. But you know what? They don't care. These teams are here for one thing only. They're here to win. They're here to take the whole thing. 100K for the winner as well is way better than 40. Regardless, they just want to be the champion. They want to be #1. And, well, winning the upcoming series, Ninjas in Pajamas and Alliance, that will put you in the grand finals. So that is one step closer to your goal. Once again, I'm joined by Lacoste and by Lizard. But what is better for upper bracket finals? What is better than a
like,
3-people
I hate
panel?
this hair, too.
Grant, please. You're
Grant,
ruining my surprise.
Is it?
Grant. All right, Thomas, despoil it. Let's welcome in Fogg and Grant.
Yo.
Whoa.
Thank you for ruining
I was staying so quiet, and Grant just like grabbed something, and he's like,
Yo, my
I don't like
bad.
this hair over here.
My bad.
Did you try to carry him?
No,
ruined
I
the
did.
immersion.
I tried to pick him up, and I couldn't, and then I lost
He
it.
said he didn't like my hair.
Yeah.
So if all of you are here,
Great surprise.
and if you're here, who's Owen casting with? That will be a surprise for later on. But I do want to talk about this upcoming series because Ninjas in Pajamas and Alliance, I think that a lot of people were expecting Liquid and Alliance to be here in the upper bracket finals after, well, from before the tournament started. But I can't say I'm disappointed to see these teams here because this is going to be a great match, Grant.
No, I agree, and it's a lot of, like, new school players on both teams, honestly. We have a little bit of old, in PPD Universe, and then on Alliance as well. It's just, you got this Nico baby, and then Gunnar on the other side. It's just going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited because we have PPD versus former teammates.
A lot of his former teammates, actually.
Lots of fun right there.
Because you got, okay, so for people unaware, it is PPD used to captain 3-3.
Yep.
They used to captain he used to captain Fada. Did he actually use to captain Hanskin and Limp in Han, or is that just?
I believe they were on opposite sides of the hate train. There was the Kyle and the PPD side, and I believe they were both on the Kyle side.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I mean, I didn't follow Han, so.
That's it.
I quit by then.
Yeah.
I'd quit long before those times.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I'll quit
Never
before I
played
even
it.
started.
Proud of that. Not the home trash.
So I don't believe so, but you never know.
You never know. Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I think that, do you think that's gonna make for some extra beef?
I wouldn't think so. I don't believe so at all. I think it's they played with each other. Things happened. Things didn't work out. That's the way Dota is. Maybe because it's so recent. Maybe like a tiny little bit of just like we want to beat them. Like each other wanted to beat each other. But the way Dota is you never really break. You never really have like this big bad blood because eventually you might play with them again.
They definitely respect each other quite a lot. I met one of the Alliance players on the airport coming in, and I asked them, like, what do you guys think? You're looking really strong. Like, are you afraid of Liquid? And he was like, no, not necessarily that much, but Ninjas in Pajamas looked good. I guess they screamed or something similar.
Yeah.
They also looked all right in the qualifiers, and yeah, here they are in the upper brackets.
Yeah, let's focus a little bit on Ninjas in Pajamas. Lacoste, this team didn't do too well in the original qualifiers for minor major. They did make it to the minor, but not to the major. But yesterday, we saw them show up big time.
Yeah, for sure. I've heard they were winning most of their scrims and playing extremely well. It seems like they figured out the patch and how it's played. But as you mentioned, they didn't mention to qualify for a major, and I think their fans expected it to, but they still have a chance.
No, I completely agree. I think they have a very good shot here, but not going to the major. Obviously, they still can go through the minor, which I'm sure they probably expect to do that, right? If you're a team like NiP. Yeah, exactly. And we'll see. I don't know. NiP, you just have, it's so crazy. You just have like one of the oldest players in the scene and honestly one of the youngest players now. It's always just fun to see that.
Yeah, and as a focus player for NiP, we have chosen Gunnar, young blood.
The young star,
Yeah, he's been doing quite good.
He had the first rampage of the tournament as well, right? With that Kunka, he was playing out of his mind, but he's so well supported by his teammates. It's not only about what he does, it's how they play around him. And when you give him some of these heroes, he can definitely show up.
Yeah, and I like how, we talk a lot about, people say limited hero pool and all that, but he does understand and he does know these heroes to the T, so that means he also knows the counters, and these are the very popular heroes right now, like the Kunkka, the Ember in particular that we talk about, so he knows exactly what to play and what to pick and ask from his team.
That's so good, like even if you have a limited hero pool, it doesn't matter if your hero pool is in the meta, so they can't ban all of them.
That is true, and of course, a lot of people remember Gunnar from the panel at TI9. After TI9, obviously, Gunnar went looking for a team. Let's see how that went.
I'm Gunnar. I'm 19, from Connecticut, USA, playing on Ninja's Pajamas, kind of on a European NA blend team right now. My history is kind of a blessing and a curse. I learned a lot from playing with Envy. So the blessing's good. I learned a lot from him. I got a lot of exposure, branding kind of thing from him. Curse is more like, that's only, like, I'm associated with that now. I'm associated with, like, getting kicked, that kind of thing. So right now I'm trying to, like, move on from it, show, like, I'm my own player, not, like, someone who got kicked. Getting kicked is kind of rough for the motivation, I guess. It's kind of, like, demoralizing that, these people, like, don't believe in you, and they're supposed to, like, be the people that believe in you in the end. So it's kind of hard. So playing on NiP is pretty good. We're all still really close. Like we all hang out. Like yesterday, we were all like talking. We like eat together. So I think the mood in the team is like pretty good. It kind of is like slightly centered around Peter. If Peter's in a good mood, we're all kind of in a good mood. If he's in a bad mood, we all have to do our best to stay strong as a team. This year, my goal is kind of to change people's opinion. I want to stop being like remembered as the guy who got kicked, and start being remembered as like a player who like played good, and then kind of make that who I am this year.
Well, that got very real as well. I mean,
It did.
Yeah. Playing with PPD sounds like being with my girlfriend. If she's happy, we're happy. If she's not happy, I have to do my best to make her happy.
I mean, that's fair.
I don't know if this is a joke. I haven't had a girlfriend, so I assume it's a pretty bad thing, but that's cool.
I think it's the same for every person, though. If other people are happy, you get it. It's an infectious happiness.
No, and I love what he said. It's like, when you're on a team, like, those are the people who are supposed to be believing in you, and that's why, like, the NA culture, like, how teams are built is just so bad, because everyone's backstabbing everyone, honestly. Like, you can see a little bit, like, we have more teams finally coming up to the top, and it doesn't seem to be happening, but
you just made that up. No way there's backstabbing in NA.
No, absolutely
in NA?
not.
What?
Never.
It's in every region, come on.
It is. A little more prominent in NA, but it's definitely, you lose a tournament, you're hopping in some Twitter DMs pretty quickly, probably.
Yeah, I mean, but it does happen everywhere, right? It happens in Europe, it happens in China a lot too, so. But yeah, it definitely is an NA thing.
I like how he talked about his transition from being known as the guy who got kicked into guy who plays well. How did you make the transition from being a feeder into a TI caster, Fogged?
Well, I found Owen, and that was best about it. Owen just kind of carried me to victory. That was pretty good.
All right,
you get good or you find good teammates, right?
Let's focus a little bit on their opponents' alliance. We're going to see Limp taking on Gunnar, of course, in the mid lane. But as player focus, you guys wanted to talk about the new captain.
Yep.
A player that we've seen playing under all the top captains in the Western scene in Dota 2, played under PPD, played under Puppy, played under Kuroki, and now is his own man, Fada, captaining this alliance squad, and it seemingly is going flying. It's going great, Grant.
Yeah, it definitely is. He's one of those players we look back on. We talked about Koikva kind of being that guy, like people always throw under the bus. Fada was that person for a while as well. Like every single team he was on, they lost. It was Fada's fault kind of thing. And now, he's moved on to the captain role. Maybe he's okay with taking that blame, right? As a captain, you kind of have to be. So a natural transition. And I mean, they're almost to the grand finals here in one of their first, it is their first LAN tournament, so he's killing it.
Yeah. Not every core can transition so well from being a core player like position 1 or 2 who's delegated, just told what to do, into a capable captain.
The complete opposite, really, yeah.
Complete opposite for Fata. He's done really good. He's done really good so well.
I think if you want to be a successful captain, you need to be known to play all the roles in Dota. If you look at Puppy, if you look at Kuroki, they've played all the roles, and look where they are right now. So.
I don't think you want to ask about Peter's one, but yeah.
No, I wanted to choose this one too because I think it's really interesting because I think he could have a massive impact because he literally was playing under Peter captaining, right? He knows how Peter thinks. Yes. I think it could really transition into playing a big part into this one, on top of all the experience that he's gotten from all the other amazing teams that he's been on, and yeah, so.
The mind games.
The mind games for sure.
There's always going to be there, especially in a game like this.
We have also got some words from Hanskin.
Oh.
And how he thought about facing NiP.
When you play against NiP, you know, there's some history between some of our players and them, you know, having two of the players playing for them last season. So there's some insight there. I'm not going to say too much, but we know where to look. It's most likely going to be the hardest game of the tournament. Yeah, I would say that's fair.
We know where to look. Ooh, promising.
I like that.
I like that too.
I like that because it also transitioned from like what we talked to Hansin yesterday, so I liked hearing more thoughts from him because he was also talking a lot about Fada as well and how Fada allows them all to kind of like relax in the game. So yeah, that's nice.
Some people might have missed that as well because we did it in the overtime show yesterday. This alliance, a lot of people, myself included, thought that it was going to be, you know, Alliance lost their previous squad, Loda calling around, we gotta make a team right now, are you available? But it wasn't like that. This squad was already planning on being a squad before Alliance needed a team, and it just everything fell into place for these players, and it's so promising.
Yeah, it definitely clicked for them. One interesting thing though with this new squad is, as much as I understand, Loda isn't really taking that hands-on approach and just coaching them right now. I don't think he's even here at the moment.
No, he is not.
Yeah, so they're completely on their own. Loda was so invested in that last squad, but it seems that it's working out very well for Fata and the boys. They have that major going for them.
No, I like what you brought up, like Loda not being here. It's not that he's a bad coach, but like if you have someone who's going to be a new captain, you don't want someone like a puppet master behind him. You want him to build himself up and like make a name for himself. Maybe bring a coach later if like, say, 6 months down the line, ideas get stale and you're losing, but for now, just be yourself.
Yeah, they're fresh.
Yeah.
They are fresh. Do we have any favorites going into this series?
That's a tough one.
I mean, it's a tough one.
It is.
Instantly, you know, everybody quiet.
I think a few people would probably, I think maybe other people say Lions. I think this might be the most even, like 55-45, but I favor NiP.
We just had 2 series
we
that went to the third game.
We did, that's true. But I think this one is, I like NiP a very little bit. I think just the drafting from Peter. He has more experience. Fada does know him, but he hasn't drafted against him per se. I guess they did in the qualifiers. I favor Peter a little bit in his drafting, because I think drafts have been the most important thing.
I'm going to lean towards Alliance a little bit. If Nico Baby will have a game like he played throughout this tournament and the past 3-4 months, this guy's a beast. He might be one of the best carries in the world, get that dial this season.
Yeah.
I'd lean towards Alliance too. Nico Baby, obviously, and also you have that 3-3 on the offlane, and you have less NA members in that team.
I mean, there's NA members in NiP.
That's true.
There you go.
I mean, I'm looking at J Storm versus Demon Slayers, and they had less Europeans on Demon Slayers.
Yeah, but it's one European. You don't really get to say, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, well, Funk, I'm also interested in hearing your opinion about series, but before we get to that point, upper bracket finals are right around the corner, but to get them here, we need the players on stage. So Rotterdam, make some noise for Ninjas in Pajamas and Alliance. The handshake between PPD and Fada. You want to analyze that, guys?
There was definitely a coy smile there from PPD. You could see her Fada kind of kept his smile down, but
I mean, it's Peter, right?
Peter,
like you have to expect that. Like he's gonna give a little cheeky thing to him, of course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to share your thoughts about the series with us as well?
I mean, I'm actually like completely right down the middle. I'm actually not too sure because I think Nico Baby is, like you were talking, like Lacoste was saying, he is super standout, but I've actually been really liking the dynamic altogether of NiP, the way they play as a team. So yeah, I'm really torn on this one.
And we're assuming that all the usual suspects in terms of bans are going to get banned again. Back to...
I feel someone might let an ABBA or Kunkka through. We saw in the last series and the series before, maybe if one gets left through, like if there's just one ban left on each team, you might see both teams just not ban one each and then they both get one, but Or it could just be all the 5 same heroes in one random.
I think a Shadow Demon is like a good ban in this series, and also Bloodseeker might come back. Like today we didn't see any Bloodseeker bans, but both of these teams actually play it quite a lot, love that Bloodseeker, so we might see that in the first phase.
I don't think you want to give a baton to Alliance, because Fada played extremely well in the previous game. I think it was the last one yesterday, where he was just fishing for the information, has his ulti, so there's a lot of resources spent a lot of the time. I think he even went to the fountain and 3 people were chasing him.
Yeah, he did.
That was so funny to watch.
Was that the one he was like one of the first level 25s as well?
Yeah, he was.
Right? Like, he just like XP talent, like level 5.
He got a few solo kills randomly because everyone died around him. Yeah, he had quite the game.
He did have quite the game. Maybe enough game coming series as well to get MVP. Let's take a look at who you can vote for this MVP. I mean, you've seen the 10 players before, but this is the way you spell their names. And I think all of them are fairly easy to spell. This is
Hanskin might be a problem. You might think of Skin, S-K-I-N, and then he's just kind of doomed from there.
Yeah, what if you spell Nico baby with a C? You know, people spell Nico with a C.
Really?
I mean, Nico's...
My brother's name is Nico.
Gunnar's is Nico with a C.
Gunnar is Nico with a C, yeah.
So I guess PPD and 3-3 are just going to get
they're looking good. They're looking good for a good MVP here.
Wait, is universe full universe or uni?
It is. It's universe.
Universe.
Yeah, so
they have to spell the whole name for us. But any players you're gonna look out for that really have to step it up in this series? We mentioned the mid matchup, of course, already. That's going to be an exciting one to watch.
Yeah, Limp has been on fire so far, so just expecting good things from him. Gunnar, he's had some good games, had some bad ones as well. It's about the matchup as well. They need to give him his heroes. You can't stray out of control. You can't just give him a Slark and go mid or something similar. I think no, you don't think that?
No, don't give him one. I don't. Yeah, don't give him one.
I'm looking at the 4 positions, honestly, in this one. Hanskin and Viver have been like unbelievably good. I'm definitely going to be looking at them too, because I think Viver, like single-handedly with his Tusk, was absolutely ridiculous, and then Hanskin on his Rubik was absurd as well. They've had some really good games across the board.
For me, it's probably if I'm just like scoping it, it's got to be on Skeeter, because as we talked about, you already have a Nico baby. It just looks like a god over here. It feels like they said this is one of the few teams that kind of sacks their 1 position. Like Skeeter definitely doesn't get as much farm as say like other cores, and I want to see if he steps it up, because you need your carry to be farmed, or else a middle can't carry the game anymore, it feels like.
All right, I'm going to say off lane.
We're going every roll.
Yeah, every roll.
I'm going to say
5 of us.
Watch them all. Watch Dota, baby.
I liked how 33 managed to come back into the game where he was playing Earthshaker. Had, I think, 0-5-0 at one point, but still he was just playing at the right place on the map, just playing with Nico baby. So they had 2 Earthshakers, and everything just clicked together.
And the current, Universe as well as 3-3 are both playing the same type of style, being thrown to the wolves. Is that okay to say? Like, is that a way?
Yeah, I think just this patch, it seems, that just offlaners are getting tossed. And it's funny, right? They both played under PPD, and you kind of bring your same style there, so they're both kind of used to being sacked already.
Do you think if 33 changes his role to something else, like position 4 is going to be
44? Dude, he should. That'd be such a good idea. 44.
All right, now I know normally at this point in the broadcast we would throw it to a break.
But
this time we just want to get straight into the Dota. So we are actually in a draft right now. Thank you for that. It is game time. Ninjas in Pajamas and Alliance. We got Ninjas in Pajamas on the Radiant side, Alliance Dire. And it looks like the position 4s and 5 supports so far have been given a focus with the first 2 bans.
I like the Rubik ban. I was talking about Hanskin, but who else also has one of the most played Rubiks? I think it's Viver across like most of his games. He likes to play the Rubik a lot, especially when he's playing on other teams, on Navi especially.
But look at that, NiP banning out that Shadow Demon just because they don't have the first pick, right? Yeah. And instantly they ban it out because it's such a strong opener, it's such a strong hero to pick as that first pick.
Yeah, and we were surprised because last game, after Juan had a great game too, they just completely ignored it game 3. We were really surprised.
We looked and went, wait, it's not banned or picked, and Shadow Demon just like owned the last game.
Yeah,
what's going on here?
And PPD, I believe he picked it in every game so far for himself, right? Yep. It's like maybe 1 Kotl game or something similar.
Yeah. That hero is just way too good.
It's been good for so long, right?
Yeah, it's an initiate, a save, a BKB piercing slow, like a break. It pretty much has everything.
A lot of good heroes still left in the pool. Since they banned the Wyvern, this feels like a good Void game already. Usually you don't just first ban.
What do you guys think about Razor, though? A hero that we all skipped because like Razor first phase ban.
Maybe it's just in particularly targeted at Gunnar.
Or, I mean, Razor in general just had some good game, right? I Annihilate that game too. Who had the really, Gunnar had that amazing game too. Maybe it's just a lane dominator. You don't want to lose a mid lane that hard, and Razor's been owning.
Maybe it's just Farah, like he knows how good this hero is.
Probably not,
If anyone knows.
How does it put Razor?
Listen to
Like, guys,
we need
the
to ban up
Razor.
Razor.
All right, the gyrocopter. From the usual suspects we talked about, obviously he's still in the pool. We're missing one as well. One extra one? Other than Kunkka and Void, what was the fourth one?
Ember's a big one too.
Keeper of the Light, still in the pool.
Bottle, yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Abaddon.
Abba,
Abaddon
yeah,
is still
Abba.
in. Yeah.
This might just be an Abba +1, maybe. Abba Coddle's not terrible. Coddle's not the best for his gyro. Obviously has that thing where, he attacks the Will-O-Wisp and he's still attacking everyone else.
It's like, do they want to? I know a lot of teams like the gyro dirge. Do they want to take the dirge away?
Yeah.
But
then, once again, you have the dirge, and then gyro can just attack the tombstone and attack everyone.
Yeah.
For people unaware, Dirge is Undying.
Sorry.
Yeah, what a cool name. We're all from Dota 1.
Yeah.
Even the fans.
Knight.
Omni Knight.
I like that.
Sustain, baby.
Yep.
We haven't seen, we've seen a little bit of it, but we haven't seen these Chen Omnis as much this tournament for sure.
True. Chen is in the pool as well.
Oh, dude, it's so grimy. Yeah. It's so, even if you're playing, it's so boring though, I'm sure. You're just an Omni and a Chen, you just stand there and heal and do
It's
nothing.
definitely something PPD has done before.
Yes,
He loves to pick it.
He doesn't care about fun, he wants the W.
If you open up with Chen Omni Knight, then you're kind of worried about the control. Your position 3 doesn't have anything, position 5, so your position 4 needs to have a low cooldown stun.
At the same time, Purification heals half of your HP with that passive, right? They go with the Coddle instead.
The Coddle, yeah. Just a super strong 5. If you have great positioning, we just saw in the very last game, good positioning equals, doesn't matter what heroes they have, you will get good pulls off.
I think it's good. He's always great for team fights, right? I think he works and he makes all these popular carry heroes that much better, right? The Ember, the Troll, and even the CK that we saw.
8-second stun?
Yeah,
he had it?
Everything amazing.
Coddle has a 100% win rate.
Yeah, we've seen in the previous series, Keeper of the Light plus a Night Stalker using the double silence as well.
That as well?
Extremely effective.
Yeah, a lot of different options you do have whenever you're playing around that chakra.
Feels like Coddle, SD are definitely the 2-5 heroes that have risen to the top.
It's a perfect example of a hero that gets buffed, gets picked all the time, then they nerf him, gets forgotten into the oblivion, buff him up, instantly back into the meta.
Yeah.
I think he's a lot like a Darkseer. He really fluctuates.
The Darkseer is just dead.
He'll be back. They're gonna give him something. Iron Shell 500 damage or something.
There's the Dirge.
Yeah, they're gonna take the Dirge,
They do. Nice
the
call,
Undying.
Fog. Yeah.
That's what we've seen a lot of teams doing that because it's it gives you this great team fight, and also the Tombstone gives 1800 vision. So you're flacking. You're probably going to be hitting almost everybody with the flak around the Tombstone a lot of the time.
Yeah,
so.
Gyro is great with Undying, great against the Undying because of the Tombstone.
Also Undying on the Omni Knight lane. Omni Knight is strength-based, right? So he won't hit as hard, but he will get some benefits from that. Less strength, more heals from the Purification.
Yeah, take out the Ember, the popular keeper pairing, and also, of course, Gunnar's one of his more played.
And I guess Abba's just ignored, huh? Whatever.
I think Alliance could maybe still drag it in, but...
I would love to see something with Dispel on position 3 from Alliance because of the Omni Knight's Guardian Angel. I'm going to bring it up here. Brewmaster, he got some loving 50 damage on the Windwalk.
40 damage.
40, all right.
Damage on the Windwalk. The massive buff.
Either that or maybe Enchantress, something that can dispel GA.
Do you just want, you only want the offlane, or do you think they could pull out an Invoker or something as well to do the dispelling?
They could, yeah.
Obviously that would be a last pick or something, but you just want something that dispels, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've actually kind of liked Brewmaster. I know he's a super weak hero, weak in the lane. That's why the pros don't like him and everything. But he's gotten buffs. He's trickling up there. Someone's gonna build an Ags and they're gonna be like, this is broken, but maybe not for a long time.
They need some control and some stuns coming from Alliance as well. That's why Axe was banned, I guess, by NiP too. Undying and Gyro, you have that rocket, but it's not it's not control. It's not.
It's control if you buy 5 4 stats.
Morph it immediately into him. It's still one of those things. It was in one pro game, and I've never seen it again.
10 seconds.
It's such a waste of a force.
It really is. Like,
Yeah,
you could
well, what if someone turns to hit it and they're like, oh god, they're gonna kill it, and then you force it. You
I mean,
can't
there's
keep
definitely a
people off guard,
situation
you
in
know?
which it will work out.
Can't you just force stab the enemy into the rocket a lot of the times too if they're hitting it? I mean,
yeah, you could.
wait a minute.
What if enemy uses a force staff on a rocket and it turns in a different direction?
That'd be sick.
Change.
Push it away.
They're taking some time for these 4 or 5 bands. Usually we get these flying through, but they're really thinking about which ones they want to take out here.
NiP's turn
Okay.
to ban.
Bloodseeker. Does that tell us anything?
Not really. Both of these teams just love to play this Bloodseeker, and it's a hero that works super well in the mid game. And when you have an Omni Knight behind you, like, you'll just crush this Gyro and the Undying very early on.
It's another one that actually pairs with Coddle too, right? Chakra with Bloodright. Bloodright's really
Bloodright
low
is.
cooldown.
I actually saw that lane. It's
Yeah.
super good. Coddle and Bloodseeker. It can work.
Because you can push them into it as well, right? Blinding light, they're walking out of it, and
Yeah.
you're just like, hey, gotcha.
You have Blinding Light with the Rupture as well, so that's
Yeah.
pretty alright.
Definitely
Turn to pick.
Yeah, but most importantly, it's player specific bans. You can see that Slark being banned out right now by NiP. You don't want to give it to Nico Baby. That's one of his favorite heroes. Actually, if you put the Gyro mid, that is.
Alliance's turn to pick.
Oh, Shadow Shaman.
I think we saw him play it once before yesterday, and I know it got played. I'm not sure who it was by Viber, but I mean, it's one of those heroes, right? You get tower push, you get catch, you get wave clear. Like, the hero actually has it all. Insanely high base damage.
You always point that out, Grant.
Yep, that insane base damage.
I mean, that
It
hero-
is. It's true. Like, he just hits you. The only problem with Shadow Shaman was always if he gets caught out in the lane. And there we go.
There it is, my
Invoker.
boy
Hey,
Grant.
all right.
That's a
With the
very
balls.
early invoker.
That's the dispel. That could be the.
It is.
Is that a 4?
It could be a 4. I mean, we haven't seen it since TI, really, have we? But we saw it a lot at TI.
And it's very active in pubs.
It is.
Yeah, it
I
can
think it might
work.
be a 4. Yeah.
I think it might be a 4, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He also has the benefit of like later on. This is later on stages, but he can get Alacrity at like level 10.
Yeah.
And that's really good with Gyro. You pump out your full flak immediately.
I mean, Hanskin can definitely handle a position for Invokers, so
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah, it seems a little bit like I feel like Shadow Shaman, like your verse Invoker, you just like crush him, right? Like Shadow Shaman, how do you trade with an Shadow Shaman as Invoker support?
You probably don't.
You probably don't.
Probably go to the other lane.
I think
little
now
tough.
they need something with a stance, somehow to initiate a team fight. Otherwise, you're just going to be relying on counter initiating. There's still Centaur in the pool. There's Sanking in the pool.
Yeah.
There's a Batten in the pool. Can't he initiate by just running in?
He good. It works.
It's the story of the tournament, story of the meta. Just pick,
People who can run in. Yeah.
pick a fat offlaner, a Legion Commander, or an Abaddon, and just run into them. Definitely could work.
So you got to commit one of your cores here now. I assume they'll take Skeeter's hero here. But what looks good?
Here, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm just looking at pairings with the Coddle, right? Like this. I mean, he said he doesn't like the CK anymore.
Yes.
Troll is one of the really popular ones. It's decent versus Gyro.
Turn to pick.
Oh,
Now that's
that's-
a popular one with
that's
Coddle.
another one.
That's one of the oldest school ones.
Yeah.
Oh, and that might throw a little bit of a mix here now, because right, like who plays the Bristle? Like 33 loves that hero, but
Yeah.
they could really move it around to a lot of different places.
And these three heroes
Well, it's on
do
NIP.
nothing.
33 is on a
Bristleback.
different team now.
Sorry, apologies.
Forgiven.
It's kind of
But I mean,
confusing.
well, the concept
It's
of it, it's
Skeeter.
an off-laner,
Yes.
and it's also a safe laner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be Skeeter. I've seen it.
Yeah.
He plays it a lot. In
Okay.
pub. It's his MMR hero, I think.
And you have Chakra Magic with it, just constantly using that spray.
You
Is
definitely
OD Gyro in Invoker 4 a bit too greedy? Because OD looking really good against BB and Omni.
It sounds pretty great, especially you don't really have this wave. What if they just push with Shadow, Shaman Wards, and a Bristleback? Like, how do you wave clear and get away from them if you have those?
And you have to be careful with that last band. There's 3 heroes right now, right off the bat, that work well versus OD. And that could fit the lineup of NiP. Like you would have Lina, you would have Puck, you would have Pagna as well. But OD could work. Also, when it comes to Bristleback, yeah, he has Kotl with the Chakra Magic, but there is this most likely position for Invoker, right? So you will have the EMP to work with Bristle, and
So
the
annoying.
one thing that this hero hates is losing mana. There we go.
There's the
Someone
catch.
to run in.
Yeah, the catch and something to run in. It covers both bases there.
Still no stuns though. That's kind of problematic. You have Cold Snap, obviously.
Cold Snap and Rocket,
Yeah.
too, real reliable stuns there.
Gives them a save
Duel
with
is
the,
kind of a stun, but
yeah. gives him a save for the gyro now versus the Shadow Shaman, who's like the majority of the disable on the side of NiP, right? Like that's all, they're only disable too. He can just, if he grabs somebody, he just gets dispelled. So that could be a potential case.
5 seconds remaining. Alliances.
It feels like
turn to
before
face.
this gyro gets items, though, you're going to be missing a lot of damage, right? You have an Undying, a position, we assume position 4 Invoker,
they could
and a
still swap it.
Legion.
They could
Yeah,
still
they
trick
could.
us up and put that Invoker in the mid lane.
Legion is the save, as you mentioned, for the Gyro's rocket, but also turns the Bristle back around, so he's going to get the full damage. But where's the damage going to come from? I don't think they have enough right now, especially
10 seconds
with Omni Knight and Keeper of the Light just sitting behind him.
Yeah, and if this Invoker is that position 4, right, you're usually quas-waxed. You're running around with an urn, perhaps a Vestal at some point.
Yeah.
After a long time you get that Agonist, you don't have as many resources as a core, obviously, so that damage isn't coming from some Sunstrike and Meatball.
What's the gotcha pick from Alliance? They don't even get last pick, so it's hard to have one, obviously, but trying to look, what is good here? You can't even do Brood, obviously.
Viper looked really good, right? The break.
That's that?
It's a good ban.
And it's Fata,
That is-
picking a Viper, that could be a classic.
Yep.
Yeah, Viper would be good, why not? Versus the Bristle.
Because he's
No, he's
banned.
banned. They took it
Ah,
out.
they
yeah,
banned it?
What
That's
a-
bad.
Alliances. Turn
And
What
the
about
Meatball.
the Limp TA? They don't have the best way. I mean, you have a Bristle, but besides that, Omni, Coddle aren't that good versus TA. It's a Limp classic.
Limp Tiny is
You
also a
have,
classic.
I think either, though, you need damage. You actually need some sort of just crazy damage, which I think both those are pretty good at. We're thinking.
I'm just not too sure for their draft looks just looks a bit weird because they have no like stuns, right? They have this
Yeah.
like Invoker and stuff, which it does apply stun, sure, like Tornado and Cold Snap, but it's just different.
Ooh.
Oh,
Death Prophet.
something to group up around. I mean, Gyro, Death Prophet, it's one of those you just like run down a lane, they pop ultis.
Yep.
It's pretty hard to fight in.
It's also a hero that you don't have to last pick, can stand up against
Yeah.
almost any midder, so because of
Fog,
that.
you look a little upset about this. pick.
No, I don't. I'm
okay.
curious because it's just like they have a lot of ways. Like if they group up and they just start going, like they have a lot of team fight right now.
They do.
10 seconds.
This is the hero that they needed, group up and force them to fight. That this is the best hero in the game. Like I'm gonna pop the ulti, we take the tower, we go into Roche Pit, but it's a Dead Prophet into Omni Knight, so I'm kind of worried about that.
Yeah, you're perfectly right. The GA is gonna mess with her. Also, they have one save, and that's the Legion Commander.
It's tough. So
Well, they have heals too, right? They have the Undying heal as well. At least the Soul Rip.
A
It's
little
something.
bit of Soul Rip.
It's a little bit of
It's
something.
something, yeah.
I think something like Lina, Queen of Pain, maybe after that.
All right, Swagger Fiend, last
That's a
pick.
classic.
Dude, the
counter to Dead
22
Prophet.
SF,
Yeah.
that is you literally ask your middle player what they want. And
And we see this matchup a lot, right?
Yeah.
Well, not a lot, but like when we see Death Prophet, we see the Shadow Fiend start trickling back a bunch
Yeah.
of times because you can never get siphons off. You just get raised.
Yeah. What are we thinking? Who do we favor now that we've seen the draft? I see everybody being very pensive.
I'm just thinking about this Shadow Fiend. We saw one today, and I'm not convinced. There's a reason why this hero was not so popular even during TI. Nothing has changed since then. Not too much in the meta in general, and it always feels like he needs one more item to be as efficient as other midders. So I'm actually liking the Alliance pick more.
I'm actually gonna go with NiP because I think when it's a Shadow Fiend alone, it's one thing, but he's gonna have the Heavenly Grace a lot of the time. So I feel like that actually usually it's like SF needs BKB or he's like kind of just screwed a lot of times. But I feel like maybe the Omni might be enough, maybe just a little bit to bail him out.
repel it.
I'm gonna go for it.
I'm thinking about the whole strategy, and I have to go with Fog as well. I think Omni Knight is going to work really well versus the Dead Prophet as well. You have the SF to deal with her in the lane, and like they just won't be able
My
to group up
friend,
again.
you are correct. I know Lacoste here. He's one of the biggest European fanboys I know, but it doesn't matter. Let's go, NA Dota, baby. They're gonna win. You've got 3 Americans, 2 honorary Americans, Biver and Skeeter. That shit's easy, baby.
All right, could not have said it any better. I know I promised you a surprise, and we do have a surprise. So let's find out who OD Pixel is joined by.
Thank you very much, Steven. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by the 2-time TI winners, OG's Two of the beautiful boys from OG, No-Tail and Seb, will be here for this series. Great series as well. NiP versus Alliance. Should be a fun one, lads. We've got the heroes out. We've got some Gyro and Dyings on one side, and SF coming out as the final pick on the other.
Yeah, I mean, personal opinion is that Undying this game is not going to work. So I really like what I see from NiP, the way they responded in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, because Undying's been a hero that a lot of people are picking, but the win rate's not been too great with it. So what is it about this hero you think that teams are being drawn towards? Why are a lot of teams trying to make the Undying work?
It's mostly a laning thing, often. You're just trying to enable a carry, a carry like Gyrocopter, for instance. You really want him to get a head start, so that he can, keep pressuring the offlaner, keep making rotations, hit his timings. Undying's gonna help that, and then he's just gonna buy wards.
He's gonna buy wards.
Essentially, I mean, I don't know. What do you do when you play Undying? You're just buying some wards.
Quick buy boots and Dream, and just like, yeah, no.
Okay, there is one use for Undying when you play against Alch, and you wanna, feed the Alchemist some MMR, and you just give him the, kill the zombies. That's good. That's one of the uses, but yeah.
Double Tombstone when you get, mega value.
I like Undying. I think it can work sometimes. I mean, this game is probably not the easiest Undying game. Rasta is also considered as an Undying counter, just because he's able to trade more effectively as him, and there's very few support heroes that can do that.
Yeah, it's also the whole Rasta Wards versus the Tombstone.
Yeah.
It's very nice. You drop some Rasta Wards, and they fight each other, and the Rasta Wards are really good against the Tombstone. I will say, I really like the Death Prophet pick coming out from Alliance. I think Silence is a great response to Omni Knight. It's one of the few ways to maybe fight into it, but yeah, overall, I mean, we've been seeing some Coddle as well here. The Will-O-Wisp, very strong T-fighting tool, and Gyrocopter, I guess, deals with it pretty nicely. But other than that, Coddle, very good hero. Coddle Bristol combo.
Coddle's
Omni
very
combo?
hot right now.
Is that a combo?
Yeah, it sounds really good. Very low cooldown on both Omni spells. Very interesting team fight potential.
Oh man.
Are going to be able to get themselves the bounty route here. And I'm looking at some of the players. I sort of want to ask you guys about your opinions on some of the, it feels like newer faces like Nico Baby, right? Like this guy, he's been hitting off big time. Alliance obviously making it to the major. They look great in the qualifier. He's been having some star-studded performances on the carry role. And for you guys as a team that obviously played, in the same tournament back in TI with him, was this a guy that you're always like, he's got a lot of potential? Like, did you ever feel that this man could step up to do something great?
I mean, he's very hard. He's a great worker, for sure. I mean, he went to Southeast Asia to play there. He was playing in Europe before, so that already tells a lot about the motivation of the guy. And, couple that with some potential and, a lot of skill and talent. This is what you get. So, yeah, no, definitely a very good player and a player to look out for this season.
Finding like level 1, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice. We haven't done so much Dota since TI, as in, as the official games. We do our watching, of course. Season is just starting. So it's really exciting to see these players and see the new teams that are forming and how much motivation that there still is for the game. Yeah, Nico Baby.
I'm watching this LC lane against Bristol, and I'm thinking to myself, would be good if you could just remove the Bristol stacks with Pressy attack, but unfortunately you can't. So it's a pretty should be a pretty good lane for the Bristol. It's going to be hard to get him pressured, and this is a very skilled matchup actually. DPSF, from my understanding at least, it can go both ways, depending on how the first levels and first creep waves go. This is very crucial. What's going on right now for them?
So if you win the region war in some of these matchups, like when both heroes have a lot of spam, snipe the courier, get the bottle first, all these small things, they really matter.
Yeah. Universe. I'm a Universe fan.
Yeah, man. I was just talking about it before back there. I was like, all poggers seeing Universe on camera is so nice.
It is great. Oh, what run is it going to be? Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Poor Gunnar.
that is mean. Just come on. Just
talking about how the region really matters.
Oh! All right.
Nice. All right. Salvaged.
Certain dominance. He has a lot of region. He's actually doing fine. No problems here.
Wow. I would have done the Crib Swarm to threaten the guy.
Yeah.
He's off,
Woke up to him. It's funny how SF is slowly making a comeback. I think the Raze build, obviously, with the Mango Spam, that probably Sumail made popular. Very good way to enable SF back to the middle lane.
I was skilling Raze level 1 on Shadow Fiend in Heroes of New Earth.
All right. So it was you the entire time.
Before the trend, you knew what's up.
Just saying. So
if Sumail's listening, it was Johan in another game. I don't know if that's a fair claim, but we can try.
I think he must have been like 10 years old at the time.
All right. And you can already see how the Rasta is is really enabling that lane, because this Omni Knight will not be able to touch any creeps if it wasn't for the Rasta, really forcing the Undying away from him. Yeah. Lanes are going really well for NiP at the moment.
Oh yeah, for sure. All three cores having a good start. Yeah, only one little falling behind is that gyro for Alliance on top. Pressure certainly being felt. In fact, a bit of an attempt here onto Nico Baby with the grab. Again, just forcing him away from the wave, making sure Universe has got all that space.
Yeah, this is what can be really annoying. This Rasta with boots versus Undying, it's like Sebastian said, you can trade really well. It can be annoying. Oh,
there's a fair fire still. Yeah.
If he gets him, he's good. South prepared as well. He's going to be out of mana for this lane.
He has a medallion shoot up already. That's
If you had to blame something here, Seb, what would you blame if you're Bristol back?
If I had to blame something, you always blame your position 5, like for something. I don't know, just check the wards or something. Like be like, where are the wards?
Can you pull?
Can you be pulling or something? No, but I mean, it's funny how this Call of Bristol used to be an off-lane lane, right? And now they're playing the safe lane, and it's fine. This is what's great about Dota, how things like constantly change. Very, very demanding game.
Yeah, I mean, seeing Coddle's good blinding light level 1 with just playing the lane out. Yeah, it's a lot of brawling.
So what they do now is they have this blinding light, like I think it's 14 seconds cooldown, and then they shackle themselves so that they can keep, like the trading is unbelievable how efficient it is for Coddle to trade with people.
I think it's going to get much better with the level 2 shock. Yeah, so level 2 shocker, you're going to get the Bristol W. It's just going to go off now.
Oh. He hasn't skilled Goo yet on Bristol. I guess you don't want to do it against President. Oh, he did actually.
You always want to skill Goo, but I think you want to wait level 3 Coddle. I think this is their timing. This
lane is very strong.
Just need boots.
Alliance are, by the looks of it, going to be able to secure all 4 bounty runes though. As NiP
just called GG.
Not quite positioned to contest them.
Maybe a little bit of toxicity going on now. It's funny, I was watching PPD draft against Fada, and like there's history to that because they were playing together last TI and obviously didn't have the success they expected. So yeah, always funny to see these rivalries. Like I don't mean like bad rivalry, you know, like healthy rivalry build up. When you have that common history and then you end up competing against each other, it makes these games just even more interesting to watch.
Especially in the drafting part, I think. I mean, now you have, like you said, Fada was playing in PPD's team before, or they were playing with each other before. So they're in each other's heads.
It's like, let me show you how to draft, man. Am I ever going to show you how to draft?
That's not going to show me how to draft?
That's never going to happen. I'm happy you're drafting my hero for the end of times.
I mean, for talking about Fada, of course, as well, are you guys surprised that he's sort of been able to slip quite nicely into this new position that he's taken on as a player?
No, not really. I mean, he was always a very like smart player when it comes to, you know, understanding the game and the bigger picture. I mean, I've played with him on a team, what was it, 6 years ago now, and he was already that kind of guy back then. Like
very slow game, by the way. I think of it, 6 minutes, no kills.
No kills.
Yeah. We see a rotation coming from the Invoker. He's gonna look. But yeah, Fada I think is now a player who's showing that he cares about winning more than other stuff. You know, he's here playing Undying against Boots Rasta in a very hard game.
Very hard kill. I don't know if he has the W skill on Omni. He probably should have it. Yeah, he does. Yeah. Very hard kill. Like this is. I mean, they picked the Invoker into the Omni, which is pretty... He has W, all good. Nothing's gonna happen here. Nothing's gonna happen.
They already have mana boost and they have a Coddle in the team.
Okay, never mind, Deep is here, I lied.
Oh yeah, Limp. See if we can finish any of this off. Stick charges and a heal will be there for Universe.
Okay.
So he's more than fine to back away. So won't get a kill out of this, but could get a good amount of pressure onto this tier 1.
So let's see how... It's interesting to see when a mid laner makes a rotation like this, exactly, what SF decides to do. He has a couple choices, right? He can push mid in,
easy kill,
and pressure the mid tower. He can make this rotation that he's doing right now, try to punish the overextensions.
Fada very deep here, will pay with his life as they'll take him down. Gunnar's going to try and focus on pushing them off the tower, but will be unsuccessful.
Wow.
PBD does get the deny though. Nice snipe from the Coddle.
Tip him?
I mean,
that's a tip, man.
Wow, that was when you deny a tower against DP ulti running with Coddle, you're a boss.
With Coddle, man.
You're a boss.
But that was first blood.
That was.
Yeah.
7 minutes in. As you said, quite a slow-paced start from both of these teams. NiP getting a kill, but on the other hand, Alliance getting a tower.
Value the ward.
They give so much these days, man, these wards.
Yeah. Back in my day.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder what he's gonna build on SF like after the treads. If he's gonna go damage or if he's gonna like play more like, of this spellcasting. It's a very interesting hero. Like there's so many routes you can go with this hero. I think it's very undiscovered yet. We've seen an SF like earlier today, like with the the kind of Dragonlance BKB or whatever he got, like Senjin Yasha right click kind of build.
You also saw the 4-step, right?
Yeah. That's interesting what people do with this. Yeah.
Oh.
Just troubles.
NiP, baby. Has he got any sort of backup? I mean, the hand scan is coming in from the side.
Yeah, he's good. He has Tornado. All good.
Yeah, there's a lot of spam for just some mana boots. And yeah, Gyro really is a hero that doesn't like this. Shrine's up. Should be fine, but he's feeling the pressure. He's going to get his 6 and he's ready to fight if something happens. With the top tower being dead for Alliance, I mean, it's nice, but it doesn't feel like they're at a stage where they can use it.
Yeah.
I don't really know what their time to fight is going to be this game. It just feels so hard to fight. Like LC Invoker, Gyro, they rely so much on this DP and Gyro dealing a lot of damage in the fight.
Oh, they do.
Versus this Coddle Bristol Omni, I think it's going to be hard.
They're going to have to play a slower game, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Try to get Gyro really strong.
Yes, I think so.
They're going to fight through him, but this DP is going to be left without a purpose for quite some time.
I think if they get a really good silence on Omni, that's a good fight condition.
Yeah.
If they get the silence on Omni and get on top of him and kill him.
I'm going to dive in past the tower 33. He's got the setup with the duel straight away onto the SF. Is there any help in time? There isn't. As you said, catching Universe out with that silence. Slim making sure that backup was not inbound. If they take down the SF 33.
Oh,
look at that skill build. Look at that skill build. Yeah, nice. Who did that?
Yeah, I've seen that skill build before, right?
Did he pay you for this?
I don't get royalties. I don't get it.
You're getting royalties?
No.
A nice little snipe up top as well.
They shamelessly steal the builds.
Wow. Okay, so tactical plays by Alliance, really collapsing. This was really, really nice. Like a lot of pressure mid, huge win. This is more than just a couple kills.
And to give like a little bit more like insight and depth to how some of these teams might be thinking, you could see how it was timed, right? It was timed right before the bounty runes. And usually, what are you talking about when it's 950? You talk about the bounty runes, right? And you might lose focus on what's going to happen on the mid tower and the mid lane. Maybe you're spread out, maybe you're not in position, and they take advantage of this. Obviously, that was well worth it, especially because NiP tried to react, and they dropped the bounty runes chasing. So that was a double win for Alliance. Very smart play and rotations.
Yeah, getting all 8 bounty runes so far from the 5 and 10 minute mark.
Right, it's been 8. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
got every single one.
It's starting to matter, actually.
See 33. And the mid does have the duel once again, but Alliance have fallen back, split back up. Make sure they've got someone present in each and every lane.
I'm surprised why, like, I don't understand why Bristol's so far behind. I don't get it. Like, he had a free game. Maybe that's the weakness of Bristol's safe lane, where you can't maximize farm as much as you would on the off lane, you know, stack ancients and whatnot. This guy is gone.
No, you're supposed to be able to get really big on the bottom lane if you can stack the big camp. If you can stack the big camp, you can get really big.
I guess LC did not let him get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom lane, I don't think it was going as well as I would have hoped with the Coddle. I don't really know how that lane plays out.
Let's see what they can do to Fada. He's going to drop down the tombstone. Does get Hex. Missiles out onto Biver.
Yeah, he's going to die on Biver.
Universe is going to be the main focus for NiP, baby. 33's in with the duel. The lockdown's there to shut Universe out. Chases on with the missile connecting onto Biver. Skid is trying to keep them off him, but Fada's going to stay on top of the Shaman. He'll turn with a Hex, but 33, NiP, baby, in the hand's going to chasing them down, running them over. Double kill for NiP, baby. They'll look to the high ground. Cold Stab's there. Will-O-Wisp is down. PPD trying for the setup with the turnaround. He's got the control. The races are out for Gunnar. They'll pick up a couple. Both Fada and NiP, baby, will be punished as Alliance get 2-3 kills, but do dive a little far. They're going up towards the shrine, and NiP are there in time to turn it around.
Okay, that way was questionable. So, if you can't hit a raise and then the neutral creep kills the Undying, this is what happened. This is I get your creep. PPD is probably feeling like he has to step up.
Yeah. Okay, quick. There's a quick Rasta Wars mid. This is a very big deal. If they can stack the mid tower from this, let's see if it's enough damage. Blind him. They don't get the full tower. Oh, they'll actually pay for this.
Yeah, good setup here with the Tornado, but focusing on taking out the wards first.
So wards on cooldown, that's also a deal. He didn't have 6 for the top fight. I don't think they could have fought back, but yeah, they could have done the wards versus the Tombstone perhaps if they committed. Universe dying first is going to be a big condition. I think if Radiant get in a position where they don't feel like they can frontline, or OmniKnight keeps getting caught, or nobody protects him, this is when it can get really hard. Like, this Caudle needs to be in the right place at the right time, uses Will-O-Wisp, like, they need to drop the things at the same time. This is how NiP really needs to fight this game.
I like the approach of 33 to go for the crest rush. You don't want to buy Blink in this game because no matter what, you're going to have to play through your gyro frontlining for you. It doesn't make sense to start the fight because, yeah, that's not how the fights are going to be taken this game. So it's a pretty good build. We'll see if it works out. It looks to be doing fine right now, but as we said in the beginning, it doesn't change that like Radiant will be like much stronger at some point in this game, and Dire will have to respect it until this guy gets to where he needs to be.
Something funny to note is DP1 Treads, they also have this gyrocopter, and then they have the whole LC Invoker combo with Alacrity and the W.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't work versus the Will-O-Wisp stun, but if you get those spells on one guy and the stun is over on Will-O-Wisp, it dies. It dies before the next charge. And I feel like that will actually come into play this game. I mean, it's a nice thing to have when you buff one hero like that's really, really strong.
They can make gyro like raid boss.
Exactly.
Easily.
Yeah. He's just going to mow through everything. The Rasta Wars, the Will-O-Wisp, the whole shebang. And
Alacrity. Yeah. It's gonna be pretty nice.
So, Lion's doing pretty well. Let's see if Universe is falling pretty far behind.
I'm going to run straight into this one here. Skeeter and Biver heading up towards the High Ground Alliance. We're there, ready and waiting as they'll take down one. Wards have been dropped as well for this. To no avail as they won't accomplish anything here. End up in, or maybe with the backup. Gunnar and Universe. They're here to turn things around, but the duel's out. GA's there. Universe with the save, keeping Skeeter alive for now. They'll kite 33 up and now can turn back in, laying up the goo onto the LC. Gunnar's trying to chase down Handscam and Limp. He's got the siphons going. Gunnar, he's falling low, gets the Red Crim off in a couple of raises, but it's not enough to kill off Limp. They've found 33. Maybe Universe and Skeeter can go for more PPD with the knockback, grabbing Limp back into the reaches of Skeeter and Universe. Limp will fall. Nico Baby, can he clean up these last three? He's focusing Universe. Another tornado out from Hansken, but Skeeter is being healed up by the Heavenly Grace. They'll surround him. EMP will burn the mana and the life of the Bristle. It's down to Uni and PPD to stand together, the two old friends, to try and turn this. Fado, Nico, and Hansken are chasing. Biver back in the action. Hansken will back away down the tree line.
Back.
A good skirmish there between the sides. It looked like it was going to be all Alliance, but NiP, they were able to find some trades, getting Limp and 33 out of that.
That was pretty cool sequence. They need to play together a little bit more, the Omni and the Bristle, ideally, so that they can, you know, maximize a bit the cooldowns that Omni has.
It's also sad the Rasta dies right away, so you see when they wanted to use all their spells, the Will-O-Wisp, everything collapses. Like, what if they catch one guy while the rest are running out of Will-O-Wisp? Everything.
DP Silence is owning. Like, it completely crushed this fight. Like, SF was about to pop the LC, the fight would have been so much different. The Silence is really owning. They don't really have tools to get rid of it, unfortunately. I mean, they have the Heavenly Grace, but the problem is it's usually already casted. So, yeah, pretty tricky to deal with the Silence yet.
I think if Bristle and Xiaofin become better frontliners so that the DP can't just run in and get that silence, this is when it gets trickier for Dire.
The thing is, yeah, as you said, I mean, if the rest is alive, DP is just gonna die. Alright, that guy's gone.
That should be some free dual damage for 33.
33 killing PPD. That's some OKS.
Continuing to rack up the damage, plus 30 now in the Legion. Still very close in the net worth. It may be 10-4, but as it seems, NiP, despite as well losing that first 2 rounds of bounty runes, are keeping up in the farm.
Oh, I'm so happy I'm not playing this and dying.
Oh, he's maxing Sorip.
Yeah,
okay,
they buffed it.
Okay, yeah.
They buffed the spell.
Interesting. It's a pretty strong spell. Undying ulti is what scares me. Like, Undying ulti is so strong.
If it works. I mean, even right now, he has this little bit of armor. He's just going to die in 1 second to a Bristleback. Like, he can't.
Yeah.
If you have enough items, if you have the buckler at the right time and everything, and then you click the ulti and run in fights,
maybe I should be playing Undying position today.
Yeah.
So you get the value out of the ulti.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty good.
It's really cool if you get the transitioning Undying, who just has a perfect start, and then you can't fight. That's a thing.
Oh, they finally get this
mid tower again. Oh, they're gonna defend it.
Are they?
Yeah.
Alliance won't give them anything.
Nope.
Ah, they're gonna force it.
Get off my lawn.
SNY. I like the. He's playing with the Heavenly Grace. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. They're gonna get it. I don't think they can do much about it.
I'll see if they can get maybe a tower denied, but yeah, with the the trap there onto Handscan. He won't have a chance in this fight, Butter. He's TP'd in, but they are more than ready to kill him off in a matter of seconds.
Oh, Mega Lul.
They could go Roche. I mean, they can Roche so quickly, Radiant. Are they gonna decide to go for it?
But they're respawning soon. I mean, there's not going to be a tombstone, but there's going to be, you know, the potential team fight called. I mean, Cooldown was used, but DP.
I think you take that fight. I mean, the Will-O-Wisp and in the Roche area, it's going to be very tricky for Dire to just run in.
Do they sustain? Doesn't Roche like hit them down a bit? I know they have.
I think it dies really quickly, like with U and SF.
And they should man up and do it.
I think they have to. I mean, the timing that we talked about, we're in it right now.
I mean, if you shout loud enough.
Who are we rooting for? Yeah. We'll see who's going Axe. I like the SNY from SF thing with the Heavenly Grace. I like that he's not going BKB. Oh, okay, no, please don't buy the Shadow Blade. Don't do that.
Who's buying Shadow Blade?
SF.
Oh.
Why would you do that? Shadow Blade for what? They're gonna have to keep playing together anyway. I don't see the Silver Edge either. We'll see. He'll prove us wrong.
I mean, what is it that you don't like about getting the Invis?
It's like you want to keep, you know, he's going to be the front line for his team, especially because, you know, Bristle bought the medallion that he's going to put on SF and whatnot. SF needs to keep growing, you know, so that he can keep kind of protecting his team in a way, you know, allow Rasta to position himself, allow Omni to position himself.
I mean, the SNY is a cool step. I think next item, like, I mean, if you don't know what to buy, like, go into the shop and think some Scotties or ACs or what do I know, like something that just buffs the Omni Knight buffing you. Shadow Blade, like you're...
So what happens is, if SF is Shadow Blading around, he's not doing his job. Rasta's gonna get jumped, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of breaking the entire purpose of their lineup. So it's a very selfish choice that is gonna hit him, like bite him back. But maybe he's just trolling with the quick buy. A lot of players do that.
Maybe you're just not listening to Electric by Flying Stars or whatever.
Or maybe it's the new meta.
Yeah.
Right, I like that they're forcing this. This is very good.
20 minutes in, dropping the wards on the high ground. See what they can do to try and slow things down. Solar Crest complete. Now for the Bristle back. Alliance trying to have a bit of a poke, seeing if they can get something out of this. They're chasing NiP back.
They have a great ward.
See, NiP do have the high ground.
Very scary position for Lions, very scary.
Oh, they're just going in?
Oh, drop the tombstone. They've got the vision here. Silence out of the Fjord. Then the Will-O-Wisp will be dropped by PPD. Cooldown onto Gunnar. But a Heavenly Grace and the heal up from Universe keeps Gunnar in fighting shape as he'll back off for now. Getting away from Nico, baby, as Nico moves in with the flat cannon. The MP dropped down. They're going to lose a fair bit of mana. Both Skeeter and Universe low on mana. The GA is there in time. Now Gunnar potentially trying to turn with the Requiem. He needs to help out his Bristle. The Silence making sure that there's no backup to keep Skeeter safe as NiP, they've lost the two of them. And Alliance, they're ready to try and chase down a third. PPD left behind, double kill for Nico Baby. As Alliance taking a fight that looked to be a difficult one from the low ground, but with the tombstone drop, they were free to head straight in.
There was a big communication in NiP's vocal system. You could see, like, they decided that they wanted to fight and they kept their high ground. And the problem is somebody made the call that DP popped ulti and that they could just disengage. And that they didn't have to fight it, you know, which is kind of true. But then half of them stayed, half of them backed off. Like you can see, here they want to fight. They dropped the Will-O-Wisp, and when DP is going to pop ulti, they're just going to start running away. Now they're talking about like just disengaging and like letting DP waste ulti.
I do think also though that they can't run into the Will-O-Wisp. I think the Tombstone is a huge problem.
Yeah.
They don't have the Rasta Wards. I do think it's a mistake to begin with to maybe push with the Rasta Wars. Like this is what can happen. Tombstone becomes really good in the game if you don't have it. If you don't have any attack speed to kill it, you can't run into this fight. I think it's going to be a bad fight. I mean, maybe they win it, but it's close.
That's rough. There's a very bad sequence of events for them because this is when Alliance, they're very happy with the state of the game now, and the longer this keeps going, the better it gets for them.
Nearly finishing off his next big item, the Aghanim's. As we did see there as well, Gunnar had indeed changed his quick buy. He's now got the Skadi queued up, so continuing to just build the stats right. Well, this drums S and Y, you're going to have all stats around the block.
That's good.
Captains being killed, ex-captains, ex-teammates. No tips.
No tips.
That's really sad.
I was going to say, he's given up quite a bit of dual damage now to 33. He's found him a fair few times as the Legion.
The
3K lead now for Alliance.
Yeah, that vessel is very deadly for the Bristle. Once Omni has his cooldown on W, yeah, he's gonna have to be patient with the vessel usage, but potentially very annoying item. I think he's, let's see, yeah, he just got the Greaves. Okay, that's cool. I don't think this game is like done by any means. Like it's still very close. Like Radiant can bring it back. They have to take like some smart fights, better than the last one. They definitely have to man up. Like this retreating together just doesn't work. Like it's very tricky to pull out.
And this game as well, especially with sort of Gunnar's build, right? Is the Heavenly Grace enough on its own to say I don't want to get a BKB or a Yules against sort of the silences and even sort of the missiles that Nico Baby's been throwing down every time onto the SF? Is it cool to sort of not buy these defensive items as the SF this game?
I think so.
I don't think you should buy BKB. I think the best defensive item is the Satanic plus something. It can be the Satanic Butterfly, or it can also be the Skadi plus one item. Oh.
Here we go, around the pit. Limp's going to drop down the Exorcism, go for the Silence Universe, trying to turn things. They'll get the Requiem off. The Roshan down. Gunnar will pick up the Aegis. GA's pop, but Gunnar dies the once. They've got the Hex down onto Limp. Limp now backing away. Bristle down to half health. 33's there with the control. Onto Skeeter. He's beating the Bristle down the front. Bristle's dead. And now they can chase for more Alliance. Gunnar, he's being focused. The Will-O-Wisp from PPD does hold them back a little bit. He'll get back over towards the Shrine. We'll see if Alliance want to continue the chase. They know there's a no Bristle for 40 seconds. Hansken gets the connection onto PPD. Nico Baby staying on top of Gunnar. Another Heavenly Grace from Universe, keeping Gunnar a little bit safe. They're trying to chase. They're trying to dive past the tier 2s. They've taken down Universe. They've taken down PPD. Missile connects onto Gunnar. Alliance, they'll get a 4 as they run over NiP.
I mean, they're too strong now. This Gyro's too strong. I mean, he has Axe, Maelstrom. DP has Axe too. There's too much damage. The Omni spells, they don't cut it anymore. SF can't hold his ground, neither can Bristle.
I feel like it didn't really come together. The Bristle committed to also help the SF. One can argue maybe the Bristle can go his own item build. Like if one of the two goes BKB, Omni helps the other. You have two cores that you need to deal with. You just saw the Gyro chase the SF forever, and the SF couldn't man up even though the Omni put so much shit on him. They either miss, I mean, it looks hard, right? They ran into the Requiem. It was almost a perfect fight for NiP in many ways, but it still didn't work. Big credit to 3-3, sneaking behind the Roche Pit, getting a duel on Bristol. Stuff like this is what really, I mean, that's outplaying them, or not playing them, that's playing really well and making a very strong play.
What's cool about LC versus Bristle, this duel is really, really annoying for Bristleback. Obviously, can't turn.
So smart.
You just die.
So smart.
He's been having a great showing so
think
far.
That's why they picked it?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know when they picked it.
They picked it right after.
Did they?
Yeah.
There's that. There's the. I mean, obviously, it's a very good press to attack game. You know, blinding light, goo.
I mean, he's also
disables.
He's also always been a LC player.
Yeah, it's a nice hero, LC. Very cool. Undervalued. Not anymore, maybe. Before TI, kind of, but.
I mean, so for NiP now being 10k behind, what's sort of their best play at the moment? Are you sort of looking at an item that any of these cores are close to finishing off that could really help turn things around in the fight? Is there anything they're severely lacking that could make things a bit different?
Not sure. What do you think, Johan?
I think it's time to invest in some real estate and try to make your money back. Get rich.
It's looking rough, honestly. I don't think...
They have to win a fight, perfect conditions. I think they have to look for their own conditions, like we're talking about how they need to silence the Omni Knight. Well, Radiant kind of have to agree on something.
Oh boy.
I'm an Alliance. They're ready to take this fight. Charging in. Limp's there with a wraparound silence down onto them. Will-O-Wisp will be dropped. GA's out. Gunnar's going to start trying to turn a punch into Limp. But Limp, he's got all the siphons going. He's healing up an awful lot. They are on top of it though. He'll use up. He's still alive at the moment, Limp. Healing up the Hex. They've killed him off. They've killed more. Can they get more here, NiP? They're trying their best to stay alive, but they don't have to sustain. The Bristles surrounded. 3 dead, 4 dead. A Skeeter falls as well. Triple kill for Nico Baby. As another lost fight for NiP, PPD will be able to TP away. They do at least take 2 cores down with them, but it's still not the fight that NiP are hunting for.
Yeah, I mean, that was all their firepower. That was all they had, and it was not even close.
The Gyro is going to be
it's a huge problem.
Big problem right now.
I mean, they did focus the DP, which was good, especially because she doesn't have items to tank yet. She's a very aggressive build with the Axe, which is obviously, I mean, a very good build, but yeah, it was good from them. They switched their focus.
Get the arcade rule.
I mean, look at the Gyro's freedom in this fight, because DP is making so much space for him. He can like, he gets the perfect angle. They still have to focus DP. He's killing the Will-O-Wisp, and then he's just like cleans house. Very scary. And I mean, he's not at his peak at all. The Gyro's gonna keep getting stronger and stronger. It's so much damage, so much damage. Exactly. That's the Gyro impression. Very good Gyro impression.
That's why I'm here, man. Sound effects.
22 to 8. I mean, 11k lead. Do things get... Oh, NiP Babies having a bit of a poke of them on his own.
D-ward. Oh, you can. He needs to call down vision. Oh boy.
All right.
I'm going to try and chase back upon him. He's got Hanskin a limp, as well as Fada by his side. BKB's popped, and now they look to turn a bit.
Good, very good.
Well, that's a BKB charge out of the Gyro.
I mean, there's potential from this Bristle. Like, even the top fight, he was the one doing most of the damage. Maybe his Crest buy build, I mean, I don't know if it's like a supportive kind of build or if it's what he would go anyway. I think he has to, as you said, he has to focus on his game a little bit more this game. He can impact the team fights much more.
The Zero is a known DP counter if you just have, enough attack speed, and that's it. Like, you just need enough attack speed plus some ultimate stacks, and you like kill DP in no time.
Hit her down.
But you don't have your attack speed item yourself. Like, you bought Crest and you have your pipe, you didn't buy treads. Like, you don't have any way to...
I mean, they're switching gear, right?
Really
SF is going BKB, so I assume Omni's gonna, like, graze the Bristle.
I do think it's a mistake, though, but yeah, I guess,
Oh, what if Omni focuses on Bristle and then SF just, like, I don't know, act like as a distraction?
You already have... I mean, now he has a Hyperstone, which is a big bonus. I definitely agree. I do think you should go all eggs in one basket with this shot.
Is there going to be a set? They do get the Hex and the wards drop down. Will-O-Wisp is there as well, trapping him in. The shackles are out. They're focused in the DP. The DP's dead. Requiem's down. They'll turn towards Hanskin. Have they got the detection? Double Dust is out. Skeeter's able to stay on top of the Invoker. Double kill for the Bristle. LC's found as well. The control from Bai for Shaman doing the work there as NiP a clean fight for the first time this game. 3 heroes dead on Alliance.
Yeah, boy, give us the chat wheels. Keep them coming. Outplayed. Now what? You know? You left my command, Farah. Now you just like... You just paid a price for it.
Peter was right, man.
Peter was right. I mean, we're gonna have to keep switching to Peter and Farah, but... Whoa, okay, well, that was...
PBD, charge it in. He gets a BKB charge. Now he's gonna have the heals as well.
Yeah, showcasing the golden item, always good. Make sure it works. As one said, the Chinese BKB, that's the best one you ever remember. The best. I mean, now they have a problem because they're gonna. I mean, isn't that a tier 3 tower at the very least?
I mean, they're gonna have a good shot of poking. There's what 2 cores down for pretty much 20 seconds.
Holy shit!
He just walks in and dies. Fada, he's gone for 50, and suddenly they're breaking the base.
Yeah, and they have like what 50 seconds?
Yeah. Wow! That turned real fast.
And buyback.
Oh, Delta split. That was incredible.
Just hit the axe, please.
Gunnar. Spin Focus does have the BKB. He's going to pop the BKB.
TP out.
Focus for the melee round.
He doesn't get it.
Get the racks. Racks it down. BKB and the TP out. Gets Gunnar safely out in time. Tension will be turned towards Skiddy. He has been left behind here, and he will fall because of it. The duel's there. But in a game where NiP were being held severely behind, sure, they take a few casualties, but they are actually the team to first break the base and take a melee racks.
Yeah, they also have to commit the DP ulti, which means that as soon as they're up, they're gonna have to be able to get the map back. They get PPD, but at this point, it doesn't matter.
I mean, they definitely went too far, man. They could have gone. They could have been smoother, or they could have even won the fight. They could have focused on winning the fight. Now look at this. Oh man, Peter's dead.
Yeah, that's rough.
They just messed up big time, yo.
You're right. That's a key part of the D push off the map for a minute.
This is a fight they can win, though, right? No DP ulti. Rasta's up. Oh, they both back. Wait, what? Wasn't Omni gonna respawn?
They should have waited Rasta to get there, and then they would have just...
did I see wrong, or did you have like 10 seconds left on Omni?
I think it was pretty short.
I think it was longer. It just died, right? It was longer than that. But, oops. Yeah, I don't know. Something went wrong there. That was a stressful sequence.
Yeah, this is looking a bit grim with the buybacks now. Pretty scary.
Yeah, for what Alliance if they, when they get that exorcism up once again, they're going to have that free space to push, try themselves to siege.
You can see in the river what happened is this Rasta got completely free to Hex and then Shackle after the PSG attack, and then they could just burst the DP. Yeah. This is the situation the Corge, like these two guys, have to create. It's not only about their game. They have to get that.
The DP is very weak Europe. They just get 2 seconds of hitting here with Bristol, 1 Goo, and Solar Crest and SF. And
yeah, she dies so fast.
That's so fast. Will-O-Wisp can be a very nice tool to stop the follow-up from some Invoker or LC. Break their combos.
Arcane
You got the BKB, almost has the Skadi that he's going for. I'm a bit worried about this build, even though the Skadi is a level of control, which they seem to really thrive off. If they,
also
this Rasta
Skadi
gets
against
to
the range boards. That'd be quite cool.
Yeah. Plus it looks really cool, the projectile.
It actually does.
Really cool.
I think Deso looks cooler. But
Deso
that's
cool. Wish you could still do both. I remember you could do both in
oh my God.
Dota 1 and it had like a snowflake Deso effect, right?
I think so. That's actually what you play. It actually impacts the way I pick up items. Maybe I shouldn't say it.
Yeah. And the cooler you are, the more fights you win, right?
I think you're cool too.
That's an aggressive Rasta. I don't necessarily like this, but here is good because they're getting a lot of vision and the fight's gonna be really spread. What's happening?
I mean, they're a little scared, Gonskidder, not wanting to commit the duel straight away. The Skidder will now start to retreat, Limp silence onto the Omni, Universe forcing to the side to try and get himself out of the reach of it. Will-O-Wisp is down to buy some safety for the Omni, but the Omni's dead. Doesn't get a chance to get a single spell out as Universe is gone. Gunnar pots the BKB, but with Alliance having the full 5-man, they can chase on. Duel there to lock down the SF, sets up for the double kill. Alliance put a stop to that pushback from NiP.
I mean, you can't do that, bro. Like,
doesn't have DP. He's just going for this now.
How do you get all this?
Move on.
I would just take the tier 3 as Cuddle. Why does he just take the tier 3?
Yeah. Oh, tips are in the game.
There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, you can't just like run away like this with Bristol and let your Omni to his own device. It doesn't work. You have to be in front of him at all times. It doesn't matter. It's just gonna get worse. Yeah, okay, that's a problem. They're gonna have to buy back SF with no souls. Omni has no buyback. They know that.
Getting a good amount of damage done to the tier 4s here. Alliance seizing an opportunity to get closer to closing this game 1 up. There's the buyback from Biver. Silence out for Limp, trying to keep the Mac. They got the Hex out onto the DP, trying to focus Shackles to lock him down, but the save's there from 33. They turn, duel out onto the Bristol. He's in a whole world of trouble. Skeeter on the front lines. He will fall. No buyback available for 100 seconds. Tier 4s have fallen. Alliance, they're onto the Ancient. If there's any hope for NiP, they will have Gunnar back up in 5 seconds, but the Ancient falling incredibly rapid.
Oh my God.
As their buyback there at about 1 second left, it doesn't matter, it's too late. The game is over, GG is called. As NiP will not be able to hold Alliance off in this game 1. Alliance keeping the advantage for most of this game. A few rocky patches towards the ends where NiP showed they could still have some sort of a fight in them. But at the end of the day, Alliance just too far ahead.
Yeah, no, that was a pretty exciting game. Lots of team fighting after a slow start. Saw some tombstones that worked out and some aggressive Rasta wars, and a lot of Will-O-Wisp that hit a lot of heroes, but it didn't really. The spell doesn't do enough on its own. It's like a black hole that doesn't really hold them and doesn't really kill them, but it's very powerful still. Yeah, good stuff. Many spells.
I mean, both teams showed some really good things. I think, like nice will to win, kind of. They both made some very good moves throughout the game. I think it's going to be a very nice game too. You just have to not let this get to them too much.
I mean, sort of looking at that, would you say a lot of that was the play, or do you feel maybe looking back, the draft from NiP wasn't too hot against what Alliance had?
I mean, a little bit of both. I think the game was much closer than what it looks like at the end. Like it looks like Alliance maybe like stumped them, but they didn't stump them at all. They were very close to losing the entire game. I think both teams really played to win. It was a good game. I think we're going to get a very good game 2 too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll have to see what both teams are able to bring out, but as it stands, Alliance starting the series off with a win. 1-0 up against NiP in this best of 3.